Okay, imagine this. You wake up one morning and something just feels off. The world seems quieter somehow. The air is weirdly still. Now, this isn't the opening scene to some sci-fi movie. This is a real possibility we need to talk about. So let's just ask the big dramatic question right up front. What would actually happen if all the bees died? I mean, all of them. It sounds like a crazy question, but the answer affects every single one of us in ways you probably can't even imagine. The very first thing you'd notice is the sound, or the lack of it. That gentle, constant buzzing that's always kind of been in the background of summer, it's just gone. A really eerie quiet would just settle over everything. Parks, gardens, entire countrysides. And pretty soon, that quiet starts showing up in your daily life. You'd walk into the grocery store and, wow, the shelves where you expect to see all those colorful fruits and vegetables, they're starting to look pretty bare. The world of choice we're so used to just begins to shrink right before our eyes. And then the news hits. It's not some temporary decline. It's not a disease that'll pass. It's a hard, irreversible fact. Every single bee on the planet has vanished. Gone. So, what happens next? Well, the collapse isn't like a switch being flipped. It's more like a slow, painful unraveling. And it all starts with one single terrifying fact. And here's that fact. 75%. Think about that. 3/4 of the food crops we eat all over the world depend on pollinators. And guess who the undisputed champions of pollination are? Yep, bees. They aren't just making honey, you know. They are the tiny, fuzzy engines that run our entire agricultural system. And this just shows you how fast everything would fall apart. I mean, within weeks, nature's whole reproductive cycle just breaks. By the end of year one, things we take for granted, strawberries, avocados, apples, they become rare, expensive luxuries. And by year two, the whole system is in an absolute freefall. We'd officially be in what's called a pollination collapse. And that collapse is just catastrophic. For so many of the foods we love, I'm talking almonds, blueberries, you name it, we're not looking at a small dip. We're looking at a potential drop of up to 90%. 90! The agricultural system as we know it would basically just stop working. But here's the thing. This crisis doesn't stop with what's on our dinner plates. Not even close. The loss of bees sets off this horrifying domino effect that ripples through the entire natural world. See, bees are what you call a keystone species. It's like they're the bottom block in a giant Jenga tower. You pull them out, and the whole thing comes crashing down. Wild plants can't reproduce, so they die off. Then the animals that eat those plants starve. And then the predators that eat those animals starve. It's a total system failure, all starting with that one little buzz. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Well, can't we just pollinate by hand? Right? It sounds plausible, but this slide really shows you why that's a complete fantasy. Nature has over 20,000 species of bees doing billions of perfect pollinations every single day for free. To replace them, we'd literally need billions of people with tiny paintbrushes. It's economically insane and logistically impossible. No way. And that brings us to the ultimate cost of all this. The price that's paid not by nature, but by us, by humanity. What does this world actually look and feel like for people? This quote, wow, it just cuts right to the heart of it. The gap between the rich and the poor would become a giant chasm. The wealthy, they might be able to afford the insane prices for what little fresh food is left. But for everybody else, a fresh apple or a salad, that becomes a distant memory. And let's be crystal clear about what we're talking about here. This isn't a temporary food shortage that we can solve with aid packages. This is famine. But a new kind of famine, one that's a permanent global state of being, because the system that makes our food is fundamentally broken. And the human toll? It's just staggering. The United Nations estimates that up to 2 billion people could face life-threatening food shortages. 2 billion! That's more than 1/4 of everyone on Earth, pushed right to the very edge of survival. Okay, so after all that doom and gloom, here is the single most important part of this whole story. This future, it's not a prophecy, it is a warning. And the best part is, it's completely avoidable. So what's actually driving this potential crisis right now? Well, there's no single villain in this story. It's more like a perfect storm of pressures that we're putting on the environment. We're talking toxic chemicals, destroying wild spaces, a rapidly changing climate, and farming methods that value output over, well, everything else. But here's the good news. If we know the problems, we also know the solutions. And every single one of these is something we can actually do. We can choose to farm smarter, protect the wild habitats that bees need to survive, and hey, even in our own backyards, we can plant the kinds of flowers that help them thrive. Nature is incredibly resilient. It wants to heal. We just have to give it a chance. So maybe the next time you see a bee buzzing around, don't just see it as an insect. Try to see it for what it really is, a tiny, fuzzy, biological miracle that is holding up our entire world, from the food we eat to the health of our planet.
Ultimately, this isn't really a story about bees, it's a story about us. It's about the choices we make every single day. The future isn't written in stone. It's going to be determined by what we decide is worth protecting, starting right now. So the real question is, will we choose to act?